What's up, everybody? This is Luke Plays to Earn, of course, coming to you with another Splinterlands quick live video because there are some exciting things to talk about with DEC already doubling since the changes went live. And so we're going to talk about that today, show you some of my results and what this could mean for Splinterlands moving ahead. But before we do, just another shout out to Zen Sports for partnering with me and sponsoring this video. They are, of course, doing their NFT collections in Sports, where you can enter in tournaments or even, just guess who's gonna win, and you can get some awesome benefits and reward pools for that. So check out their Zen Sports NFT collection, as well as they have a tournament coming up this Saturday, which I wish I could be there to stream and to help host and cast it. I unfortunately won't be available, but they are having a mint train where as many mints come out this week, we'll add to the prize pool, and then that tournament is going to be Saturday. So make sure you catch out some of that Zen Sports tournament. Even though I won't be there, still go support all that Zen Sports is doing for Splinterlands and other play to earn games. Now let's get to the video. DEC more than doubling for some people since the changes went live last about 24 hours ago. So initially, when I was on my Splinterlands TV stream, it didn't seem like DEC bumped up that much. And basically, if you didn't see the reward changes, what they said is before the reward changes even come this next season, we're going to implement it so that DEC, you will not be able to earn if you don't have any owned cards, right? So every time you use a starter card, it is going to reduce the amount of reward shares that you get, as we've talked about in previous videos. And this part for at least DEC has already gone live before the chests and new reward system goes live for daily focus and the season end chests. So when I was playing yesterday, streaming that, it didn't bump up much. It was like a slight amount, maybe from like 2.5 to 3. It was like, okay, a slight bump, cool. This is all right. Like, I'm glad that at least a little bump has come, but it's not like, game changing. It's not gonna blow anyone's mind. Then when I woke up today, it was like, oh my gosh, my DEC per win has doubled since this new change went live. And I guess Bulldog tweeted out that it was going to take 24 hours to come into effect. And my oh my, it's come to effect. So you can see, let's see, yeah, even before, last night I was making about 4.5 DEC per win. Some of these are not, there you go. Okay, now we're here to our ranked battles. Then here this morning, 2 hours ago, it all of a sudden jumped up to in Silver 1. I went from about 2.5 DEC to 3 DEC before this change was made, now to winning 8.8 DEC per win. So double, almost even triple what I was getting before. And then of course, when I saw that, I was like, okay, we got to move to gold, test it out, see what gold is at. And gold right now, even though I'm only in gold 2, I don't have enough power for gold 1. It's somewhere up back to 20-ish to, I think at the top of gold, some people are probably winning about 25 to 30 DEC depending on bonuses. So we're almost back to the days of when DEC price was so high that we got a bunch of DEC per win. Of course, now that DEC is back to the peg, it's not, worth as much as it was when DEC was 10x off the peg, but still, we are getting so much more DEC than we were before, which is surprising to me because when I was doing my bot farm calculations, I was like, oh, the bots aren't really taking that much DEC. But you calculate 300,000, let's say, we don't know, 300,000 bot farms playing this game, and let's say they all take only on average, even if it's a small amount of 1 DEC a day, that's still 300,000 DEC that they're draining from the pool. Again, this is just made up math. I don't know the exact stats, so don't, at me for that. But I guess really what we're seeing is that the team was right, that the starter cards were a huge problem. And now, people have been calling it out. I didn't think it was as big as a problem as this. So the fact that we're getting double to almost triple the amount of DEC is bullish for a lot of things Splinterlands, even before the new reward chests have come out. And it's got me pretty excited. So bot farms definitely were a big issue. Now, of course, this is only day 1, so we'll see, maybe there's bot farms that haven't woken up to buy some new cards. So maybe more and more accounts will start buying cards up again so that they can start earning DEC. So I don't know for sure if these numbers will hold forever, but right now they are seemingly pretty dang good. And I think that's going to change the game in a couple of ways. One, we were arguing, okay, Do you stay in silver? Do you move down to bronze for a higher win rate? Do you jump to gold? Is this enough to actually push people to higher ranks? And I think even just with the DEC bump, this is a big motivation. Because let's say everyone is doubling or tripling their DEC. Well, if you're in bronze and you were earning 0.5 DEC and it triples to 1.5 DEC, that's a good bump. But that's only a difference of 1 DEC. Versus if you're in gold and before you were earning 10 DEC and that doubles or triples to now 20 or 30 DEC, that's a bump of 10 to 20 extra DEC per win. So the higher you climb, because the rating is cubed, that DEC that is doubling or tripling is obviously going to mean a lot more. So that's why instantly I was like, okay, I got to go test out gold because I got to see how much I'm earning. And, even if I got a little bit more card power or just waited for modern format, I could be in gold 1 and probably earning, 25 to 30 DEC a win, which is pretty dang awesome. So I think one that could mean card prices could go up. We've already seen the price of some card power go up. We've seen a lot of the starter cards go up, but I think this could mean also just cards that help you to win in this game in general is going to potentially go up. This is not financial advice, whatever. I'm just saying, I think if more people are motivated to push up into ranks, they're going to need better cards, more leveled up cards, more leveled up summoners to push up to higher ranks to get more DEC in that eventual next week to get those better loot chests. So this is pretty exciting. They're already seeing a pretty big increase, and I think that's going to make a lot more people motivated to climb if they can. Now, of course, I don't think it's going to be as crazy of card prices as we saw back in the big bubble of September or October, the big boom, whatever you want to call it. Because again, even though back then we were probably earning the same amount or close to the same amount of DEC we are now with these reward changes, remember that DEC was 10x off the peg. So if I'm earning 20 DEC in gold right now, and back then I was earning 20 DEC in gold, well, that 20 DEC in gold back then was worth 20 cents. Versus right now it being worth 2 cents. So I think it'll push card prices up potentially, but not crazy like we saw last year when it was just going way too insane, So I think that could push card prices up. We've already seen card prices go up, as I said, and now we're seeing the estimated pack value. Even, these changes were pretty good, pushing it from, I think like last week, I want to say it was like $2.50. And then once they made those reward announcements changing, it's bumped up to $3.50. And now that I think we're seeing even more prizes come out with this DEC, $3.75 is the highest I've seen for an estimated Chaos Legion pack value since like the beginning. I mean, maybe like pre-sale or maybe like the first part of January before we hit this huge, crypto sideways or bear market. So that's pretty dang crazy. So that's pretty exciting because one, if people are buying more cards, our packs are not going to be more valuable. So it's going to do one thing of push us to open packs because now we're getting closer to the value that we bought them for. Secondly, it could push more people to buy packs. We haven't really seen much pack movement yet still. That's the one thing that I think we're waiting for, probably for the end of the airdrop. But think about this. If the pack value somehow keeps going up, it's going to be capped at $4 if you think about it. Because what's going to happen is if this pack value gets too high, well then of course people are going to buy more packs because you're going to get the same average value out of opening them if you're buying, enough to get that average. And what that does is you still get the airdrop points. So why go buy a bunch of secondary market cards when you can buy a pack, get the airdrop points, and get the estimated value back that you're going to spend on your packs anyways? It's a no-brainer. So then we could potentially see finally more packs being sold after a long, slow push the last 2 or so months. So that's one thing. It could make those packs move a little bit quicker, and we can see some of those legendary airdrops hopefully come to us a little bit sooner rather than later. The other thing it could do is that it could make renting again more viable. If you remember back in September and October when you're getting so much DEC per win, it was worth it to do something like, hey, I'm going to rent a gold deck for a day, play as much as I can. You could spend, 200 DEC as I was doing on a gold deck and then just make all that back within one day. You can still get your reward chest. So, while it is, better to own the cards, obviously, if you rent, and hopefully, these rental prices don't go up too much for the sake of us krills that can't afford our cards. I would love to see it some like viable strategy to go, hey, I'm going to rent a level 2 deck, or I'm going to rent level 4 summoner, maybe 1 or 2 decks that meet my daily focus. And, you can rent a level 4 General Sloan for 4.3 DEC, Obsidian for 5.5 DEC. And you could take that, build probably a silver level deck, and even maybe play into gold. Maybe you wouldn't want to do that with the different reward structure changes and the reward chest being different. But maybe you could rent a level 4 deck, play, a couple times a season, still get a lot of your daily focus and get a lot of season points. So maybe even like we'll test this out on my novice account, my alt account that I started with $1. We're going to be testing some like, hey, level 4 rental decks, or maybe even level 5, level 6 to push us into gold. Level 5 General Sloan, still only 5 DEC. Of course, renting out the rest of the deck is going to be a little bit more expensive. But say you can rent a silver level deck that's going to push you to the max level of silver 1. And you get, you spend 200 DEC and you get back 300 DEC after playing for, 2 days, and you get your reward chest on top of that. It's going to make those strategies potentially viable again. Of course, we're going to have to test this, but that's what's exciting, because before you could do that 6 months ago and you can make out and profit even if you didn't own a lot of cards and you couldn't put, $500 to go get a really good silver level deck. You could use that rental system to get some rewards. So I really hope for our krills that is viable again. I hope by saying this in a video, we don't push the rental market up too high, because I do want to see lots of our krills being able to rent and get a bunch of rewards as well, even if they can't afford buying their own deck. So that'll be exciting. I think it's going to make that viable again. Of course, we will see. Remember as well, even though that we've seen card prices go up for power, remember that, hey, this was like 500 CP for $1 a couple weeks ago. Now that the reward changes have come, they are back to about 300, 350, which is not horrible. But remember as well, when the Modern League comes out, look at this. If you, let's say, own 10,000 power, well, you're automatically going to get into Silver 3. Silver 1 power is going to get cut in half to 3,500. For me, gold is going to be finally viable, because gold 1 is going to be now 100,000 power. So while card power has gone back up a little bit, I think as well, once the Modern League comes out, a lot of us will be able to push into higher leagues, even if we don't maybe have the power now. So maybe for some of us, it's worth it to stick in bronze 1. But then once the modern format comes out and we can get, a reasonable amount of 20,000 power for silver 2, we can make a higher push into some higher leagues, or it can make even renting less expensive, because renting for power at the end of the season isn't going to be this huge push, because remember, you don't need to have a crazy amount of power at the end of the season. It's now should be a flatline rental market across the entire season. There shouldn't be a huge last 3 to 4 day push. It should just be like, hey, we can rent any time of the season we want to. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, the only other thing is the nodes. Rogue was telling me, Rogue Patton was like, hey, we already sold through the pre-sale of here in the node. So we're already into tranche 1 as of this morning. So that was pretty dang quick, as a lot of people were expecting. This means that essentially $2 million of SPS was burned. 80% of that, or sorry, 80% of that was burned. Let's see. Yeah, I highlighted here. 80% of that was burnt, and 20% of that will be used later to incentivize SPS validators and reward them. So we are already seeing a pretty big burn of SPS. If my calculations were right, it was roughly about 2% of all the current SPS supply, as well as 1 million vouchers rather were burned as well. So that is insane for this game. We're not seeing a huge pump price to SPS or vouchers right now. We already saw a little bit for that pre-sale coming up, but I'm not saying everything's going to the moon right away. I'm just saying there's a lot of exciting things that could push this game further on. And remember, when the SPS airdrop ends, we could see SPS rewards coming out for ranked play. And if SPS, with the burning and all of that of these nodes, it bumps up the price a little bit more, you could be getting even more SPS per win. And or I guess not more SPS per win, but your SPS is going to be more valuable per win. So that's where I'm saying even more so, the cards that you own for ranked play could come into be even more valuable. So We've already seen card prices go up. I'm a little bit sad about that. I was hoping for a max level silver deck. I still haven't hit that for Chaos Legion, but you know, I think this is the time to, if you have the funds, to make sure to grab some cards before they go crazy. If they go crazy, again, this is just day one. I'm excited. I'm emotional about it. You know, this is not financial advice. This is not even like logic and data. I'm just hyped for the things that I'm seeing currently. So don't put all your life savings. Don't put in more than you can actually invest into this game. You know, anything could happen. This is just day one, and who knows if we keep seeing this crazy bullish momentum. But I'm excited. I want to know your thoughts. Are you as hyped as I am seeing this huge DEC bump? What else do you think this means for the game? For now, I'm going to sign off. This is it for all. But again, zip zip hooray for Zen Sports. Thank you guys for watching with the Krill Crew. I want to hear your thoughts. This was just like, I need to get something out of my mind because I'm hyped about the double DEC that I'm seeing right now. And I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. For now, peace out, Palam.